booth, and we're all tangled up here. We will get untangled. Coach's interview being streamed on our 1160 WCCS Facebook page as well. If you want to watch Coach Page, and I think we both have better faces for radio than video.
I know I do.
Coach, sum up your feelings. An emphatic victory again. I'm sure you didn't think it was going to be this easy. One whale of a performance.
Yeah, I'm elated for our kids, our assistant coaches, our staff, so many people that are a part of this that just work hard every day and have the best interest of Homer Center football in mind. And I did not think it would go that way. Portage is so well coached. I got a great program, and we got that monkey off our back because they had owned us the last 3 times we played them. So it's just a great feeling.
Greg, again, and that's something I pointed out to you earlier in the week. On your opening possession, you've now scored 9 times in 12 games. That is a fantastic number, and you did it again tonight, but I don't know if that stat was in the back of your head. You're saying, I don't want to let the broadcast guys down. We've punched in 8 out of 11, so I'm going to go for it on 4th and 3 from my own 47-yard line. Ward Hilliard was in shock up here.
Well, Gene Raymond is usually the one that says punt. And Gene was looking down. He goes, well, "What are you going to do?" So instead of saying punt, and Mike Arone's like, "Hell with it, let's go for it." And he was calling the plays that series. So we got it, and I think we got it easily, if I'm not mistaken. So
good pass underneath the Miles.
Yeah, it was the hitch. Yeah,
had some rack yardage
pass,
too.
Yeah. It's just our guys they don't blink in that situation. They know that they got to execute the play and get past the stick. So that kept us going, and then we got a good score, as you said, to finish the drive.
Braden St. Clair answered. They answered very quickly. 2 plays, 68 yards. We had a tie game late in the first quarter, but then you guys came right back, took the lead 14-7, and then one of the big plays in the game as well. The 66-yard kickoff return by Braden St. Clair, and Nick Schmidt, as he's about ready to force him out of bounds and deep in Wildcat territory at the 13-yard line, he rips the ball away from St. Clair, and you guys dodge a bullet on a superb play by Schmidt.
I was down here on the opposite end looking at our previous play. I didn't see anything, and I just saw our guys going nuts. So I thought, it was a good tackle. Well, then everybody's going crazy because it was our ball, and Schmidt must have made a great play. I'll have to see it on tape. Obviously he did. And I got to say, I think St. Clair is just a dynamic athlete. I mean, he just when you think you got him hemmed in, there was times when he broke through. So that's a great play by Schmitty to turn the momentum back again.
So you guys start at your own 13-yard line. Not only is it a big play by Schmidt, but then you go on an 8-play, 87-yard march that featured a 41-yard run by Boston McCracken, and then Monteo Coleman was just getting heated up, wasn't he? He took it in from 4 yards out.
He was, but I got to tell you, Boston ran. He didn't get many carries, but he ran like a man possessed tonight. He is a man when he gets going. His shoulders are straight ahead. He's strong, and he's got that running style. And Monteo, Jesse had some hard runs tonight too, and Monteo just was. He credited the line as he should, but when he shoots through there and gets his foot in the ground and makes a cut, there were some times it was beautiful watching all those guys. I mean, even Miles had limited carries. He got us a big 4th down conversion inside the 5. So our line played really well against a front that was bringing pressure and walking backers up, and our backs ran hard.
20 carries, 282 yards, 3 touchdowns for Monteo. I can't remember in your time somebody running for that much yardage. I remember Mr. Hilliard's son running for over 300 out of Purchase Line many years ago. But regardless, what a night.
That's a great night. I mean, again, that's a team effort, but you got to give him a lot of credit too, because he's one of the smallest guys in the field. But he just has a way of making you look a lot better when you make certain calls. Just because he finds a seam and he's slippery, and just proud of him. And he's one of those 3 guys that were freshmen when we went last time, and they wanted to do this. They really wanted to get back.
Greg, also talk about the way this offensive line has matured. There's only one senior on it, Manzanilla. You had some struggles earlier in the season, but indeed it does take time for guys to start understanding concepts and playing together. Is that kind of what unfolded right in front of our eyes?
Yeah, and I give them a lot of credit. And Coach Gene Raymond and Coach Nick Raymond, they primarily work with the line, and they've gotten more cohesive. And we've, believe it or not, we've started to try some different things out of some different sets, and they know how to handle it. I mean, they know our system, and I always tell them a lot of the play call is window dressing to them because it means more to the backs. They just have to understand where it's going and if anybody's pulling. And they come off the football. They really do. AP didn't practice much this week with the ankle injury, so he must have done a good job. And it's just it's good to see those guys. And Logan Hill at tight end does a fine job. And then we're Clevin at the other end, and he's starting to pick it up too.
And Logan Hill had a big fumble recovery early in this football game too. Coach, it's so much fun when you win, no doubt about that. But what a show you guys put on at home this year. You're 7-0, just like in 2013, and that ended up pretty well.
Yeah.
But 264 points in front of your home fans. Very, very exciting for all of us.
I'm going to tell you, and I've told our kids, I found it out the first night I coached the game here for us. It's a special place. It's a special place with special people. The fans, I mean, I know they were traveling, and they usually travel well, but we filled it up, and we were loud. I got to give a shout out to all the great Wildcat fans. This is a great sports town, and not just football. They support everything, and I could hear them tonight. I usually don't hear the crowd much, but they were very vocal, and I think they do spur us on. So this is as much for them as it is, our program.
Back to the District 6 championship game. You scouted Guilfoyle last night. They've won every game since you beat them in 2013, about 43 in a row now, I believe it is. Back-to-back state champions. You'll have your hands full. Talk about what you saw last night and the challenge that's in front of you.
I just think they're the premier program for Class A, small school football on this side of the state. And obviously, the last 2 years winning the state championship. I think Coach Wheeler has a great staff. He's a fine coach. They got a lot of kids, but they get the most out of them. They're very intelligent, very disciplined, and they're good football players. I mean, when you combine all that, it's going to be a tall task for us. But, our kids are nutty enough to know they have a shot. And I mean that in a good way. So we got to prepare for them. I feel like we're the underdog, obviously, and they're just outstanding. But you know what? You never know what happens when you can get to that point. And our kids, I think their level of purpose will rise to the occasion this week throughout practice.
Coach, congratulations on an outstanding victory over a good Portage team tonight, and the monkey's off the back. Yeah. You've beaten Portage now.
I think my mother was happier than anybody else. They're both parents are Portage natives, and as a side note, my dad played high school football with Coach Gauss's dad, Wally Gauss, and so there's it's an interesting little rivalry, and you want to play teams like that. You want to play the Portages and the Guilfoyles because they're gonna give you a true test and see how you really are.
I wrote about the fact there's only 4 teams you haven't beaten: Stilton, High Spire. You may never face them again.
Yeah.
I know there's one team. You mentioned your mother.
Oh yeah, okay.
Her roommate. You're never beating him. That's your dad. No, you're 0-4, and that one's not going away, Coach.
0-3.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll double check that.
Yeah, you do, but it's 0-3. Believe me, I know. And that's one guy I don't mind losing to right there.
I don't blame you. Let me shake your hand on a big victory.
Thanks,
Coach
John.
Page on our post-game show. Coming back with more on our First Commonwealth Bank post-game show. We thank Coach Page for all of his comments. It's more fun when you win, folks. And the Wildcats did that 41-22 over the Portage Mustangs. On to the District 6 championship game next Friday night at Mansion Park. You'll hear it right here, beginning at 6 o'clock on 1160 WCCS and the new 101.1 FM. Ward Hilliard's going to check the stats that shaped up this game when we return right after this.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks.